Namaste, dear friends. In our current exploration into the first chapter of Ashtanga Sangraha Sutrasthana, earlier we had discussed about the three doshas, the introduction to the three doshas. Now we are about to see their location or their space where they are very much prevalent and dominant, the time in relation to the three doshas, and the orientation. And orientation here is very specific to Agni. We all know in physics this time, space, and orientation how important it is. Right. And many people get this question. We all have learned that the three doshas are just like any other entity in this world. The three doshas are nothing but the manifestation of Panchabhutas. The dominance of Panchabhutas, the combination of Panchabhutas gives the doshas into these three principal forms. And we know the shloka. Vayu akashabhyam vayuhu, agneyam pittam, ambaf prithvibhyam sleshma. But why Acharya Vagbhata has not included the basic component of doshas before getting into the details about doshas, dominance, doshas, time, space, orientation. Why is it so? This question is natural for us to get this kind of question. Well, for the time being, I get reminded of my school curriculum when most of us in our math lesson, in our earlier classes, we used to study the formula a plus b the whole squared, a plus b the whole cube. But we never used to study the derivation, how that formula got the derivation. A plus b the whole squared is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. There ends the question and the answer, and there is some numbers to be worked out, and they solve the example. But we don't get the derivation, how a plus b the whole squared is equal to so and so. In the succeeding classes, the higher classes, we learn the derivative. Similarly, Acharya wants us to get a strong hold, probably Acharya wants us to get a strong hold of the basic building blocks of anything in this world for that matter, especially Ayurveda. Tridoshas are the building blocks of anything in this world, anything which is a physical manifestation in this world, as well as some mental expressions. Probably for that reason, he wants us to get a strong basic foundation about doshas and their practical presence, in what forms they are present, and then get into the components of doshas, how they are made, what are the Panchabhuta dominance of those doshas. Probably this is the reason Acharya has preferred to put it on to some other later chapter. Right. Now, we are going to see few shlokas in this particular video, and the first one is regarding the space dominance of the three doshas. Shloka number 11, Sutrasthana Ashtanga Sangraha. The chapter name is Ayushkami Adhyaya. Te vyapinopi hridnabhyoho adho madhyordhva samshrayaha. Acharya Indu, in his Shashilekha commentary, says, Nanu vatadayaha kim niyata deshaha ahosvit vyapino ata ahata iti. Te dosha vyapino api sakala sharira chara api pratiniyata deshaha. Though the doshas are prevalent in entire body, all the three doshas are present in the entire body, but pratiniyata deshaha, they have some focal dominance, they have some zones of dominance or areas of concentration. Kaha kasya desha ityaha hrinabhyo iti. It means that the region above uras, that is chest, is kapha dominant. The region between chest, nabhi, the region between chest or the heart region and the nabhi, the umbilical region, is pitta, area of concentration, and the region below the nabhi is vayu or vata dosha dominant. Right. This shloka says so. The next shloka, the 12th shloka, talks about the time. of the three doshas, the time in relation to the three doshas. Vayo ahoratri bhuktanam te yanta madhyadikaha kramate, which means न केवलं शरीरव्यापिनः सन्तो नियतदेशा यावत् सकलकालव्यापिनोऽपि नियतकालाः. Not only the doshas are not, though the doshas are present everywhere in the body, they have a focal or areas of concentration within the body. Similarly, though the doshas are prevalent across all time, across all time units, I mean, in terms of they are present on in throughout our life, throughout a day, throughout a night, but in spite of that, even in terms of time, they have a dominance, and that dominance is divided into three based on the doshas. Etat pradarshanaarthamaha vaya iti. See, Acharya beautifully categorizes time factor into three. One is age, the other is diurnal variations, day and night, and then, very interestingly, time with regards to the stage of digestion. So, the crux of Ayurvedic understanding of health and disease is so much within the understanding of Agni, that is digestion, the power of digestion, and hence that particular approach starts right from this shloka, the stage of digestion. So soon after food, so let me read the commentary by Shashilekha, then we can understand the meaning. Antadinam vatadibhir yatha sankhyam sambandha. So a person's third phase of life or the later phase of life, suppose a person lives for 100 years, which is a very rare thing these days, but still, the last 33.33 years of a person's life should logically be a vata dominant phase. The middle phase between 33 to 66 years should be pitta dominant phase, and the first phase between 0 to 33 years is kapha dominant phase. Now here, within this, it doesn't mean that the extent of dominance of doshas is going to be same as age of, say, right from at the time of birth, and at the age of 33, the kapha is not going to be dominant in the same extent, to the same extent. It will be in a different variation, in a different guna. Regarding the dosha gunas, we will come up later, and that is also an interesting thing to discuss, because Acharya has preferred to discuss the gunas of doshas, the properties of doshas also later on, and he wants us to get used to the impact that doshas make to us in terms of so many things like Agni, time, space, orientation, etc., and Prakriti. So a person's life is divided into three phases like this. As far as a day is concerned, the first part of the day, say suppose the day is 12 hours, the first 4 hours is kapha, the middle 4 hours is pitta dominant, and the last 4 hours, say afternoon 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. the evening, is vata dominant. Similarly, we can divide this time zone into three during the night based on the three doshas. The earlier part of the night being kapha, and the ending part being vata, and the middle being pitta. And then, according to stage of digestion, the end phase of digestion, the jirna prayavastha vayoho kopakalaha. So, the digestion is complete, that is a vata dominant time phase. And during the process of digestion, it is called as a vidaha avastha, it is pitta dominant. And bhukta matra, soon after intake of food, it is sleshma dominant. And here also we need to understand that Sleshma is the word used here. Various synonyms are there for doshas. For kapha, Sleshma is one such synonym. Slish alingare is the derivative for that, the definition for Sleshma. So Sleshma has to be understood like something which has a property of adhesion, which clings on. So that particular aspect of kapha is more dominant, and maybe that's the reason why Acharya has included the word sleshma. So when we go to the next, it is about Agni, how the three doshas are in relation to the Agni. And we discussed about space, we discussed about the time, and this is orientation. And now this orientation is towards Agni. And as I said before, Agni is the prime subject of discussion, prime thing to be focused as far as understanding a person is concerned, understanding a disease is concerned, and understanding the aspects of treatment is concerned. And that's why the orientation is always towards Agni. And here the discussion is about how doshas are in relation to Agni. तैर्भवेद विषमस्तीक्ष्णो मंदश्चाग्निः समैः समः. Shashilekha Vyakyana written by Acharya Indu, the commentary he says, Taischa Vatadibhi Purushasya Agnis Chaturvidho Bhavati. Nahi Ekenapi Doshena Hina Vatadayaha Sharir Janane Samarthaha. So the doshas cannot be present without the presence of the other two doshas. So all the three doshas are needed to towards creation of body. Avashyam cha sarvaireva bhavitavyam. Yascha yesham eka vipadeshaha sa utkarsha kritah. So when Acharya is trying to tell vata dominant, vata pitta, vata causes vishamagni, whatever it is, it means that utkarsha, it is just dominance, it is not single individual prevalence. It is presence of all the three with one dominance. So utkarsha is the word used here to denote the dominance of dosha. Vata utkarshena vishamaha. So vata, if it is more, the agni is vishamagni. Vishama in simple terms means erratic. It can be good, it can be bad, it can be high, it can be low. It's wavering, which is an inherent property of vata dosha. Pitta utkarshena tikshnaha. The dominance of pitta causes tikshna which is high penetrative Agni. Kapha utkarshena mandaha. So dominance of kapha causes a very slow, dull digestive power. Samaihi samaha, which means when all the three doshas are in balanced state, which is a rarity, but it is the most desired thing, then samagni, the Agni is also in a balanced state. So samagni means hani utkarsha varjitaihi samaha. It is neither low, it is neither dominant of any particular dosha, nor it is a deficit of any particular dosha. It is balanced. Vishamadhinam lakshanam sharire vakshate. So what is the meaning of Vishamagni? What are the symptoms? All these things will be discussed in Sharira. Sharira is nothing but the next particular section of the text which talks about the body, the physiology and anatomy aspects. Even Sutrasthana contains a lot of physiological aspects, but more of anatomy is being discussed in Sharirasthana. Yatra tu dvau utkarshtau tatra bhishaja swabuddhya parikalpaniyah. So there can be dominance of two doshas as well, Vata Pitta together or Pitta Kapha together or Kapha Pitta together, and there the symptoms can be mixed in. Vayam disham darshayamah dvau doshau Vata Pitteva Vata Kaphuva Pitta Kaphuva Tatra Vadasya. So suppose Vata and Pitta are associated together, what happens there is, how the Agni will be there is, because Yogavahi, Vata is Yogavahi. Yogavahi means it acts as a carrier or a vehicle, or it gels well along with something. That is the meaning of Yogavahi. Yogavahi Param Vayu. That is one important shloka later on in the text which we will be seeing. Vata Pitte Tikshnatva Utkarsha. So if Vata Pitta are found together, then the Tikshna Guna, the property of penetrative effect or strong penetrative effect of Pitta will come to the fore by the help of Yogavahi Guna of Vayu, Vata Dosha. Vata Kaphe Mandatva Utkarshaha. So because Vata is Yogavahi, if there is Vata Kapha dominance, then the Agni will be Manda, because again there Vata is helping in the expression of Manda Guna of Agni due to Kapha Dosha. Pitta Kaphe. Suppose it is a Pitta Kapha dual association. Pitta Kaphe tu Ahara Visheshad Kadachit Tekshnyam Kadachit Mandyam. See the beautiful explanation given here. So Pitta Kapha, we learned that in Pitta the Agni is Tikshna, that is very powerful Agni. In Kapha it is very dull, slow Agni. But if both are together, then how are you going? Is it going to be a balance? No, it's not going to be balanced. It is dependent on the food, ahara visheshat. Sometimes it becomes a tikshna or powerful agni, and sometimes it will be a very dull agni. So, suppose a person consumes heavy foodstuff, sweet, oily foodstuff, which are favoring increase of kapha dosha, then the agni will be mandagni during those instances. And when the person consumes very spicy foodstuff, sour, salty, spicy foodstuff, hot in potency, more of spices, then in those days or in those time zones, then the person will have tikshnagni or very strong digestive power. And this kind of association of vata pitta or vata kapha, pitta kapha, this has to be inferred in all other situations. We are about to see constitutional analysis. There also this particular logic needs to be applied. And prakriti means constitutional and vikriti means pathological. So in pathological conditions also we need to apply this logic of dual association and decipher the doshic output and treat accordingly. Hope this video was useful. Kindly put in your suggestions, and tomorrow we will come up with the upcoming subsequent shlokas. Thank you.